I'm glad you could join us tonight. Tonight we got a special guest. We got Dr. Jones on, and Dr. Jones has not only had a successful practice, but now is part of a group called Disrupt Health, and he's bringing all sorts of fantastic people together that really, really want to help people get better. So this is something that is very, very much needed. So there's a lot of medical doctors on this team that have been that have joined into the group, and we're all learning how we can improve people's lives through the newest technologies out there that can make a difference. And it's not all about fluff and fairy dust. This is about real technology like ours that can impact. And he'll get into that and talk about it. But he's now got a group where he's counseling doctors on different ways to bring these different modalities forward. And I am extremely happy to have him on tonight. So he'll be on in just a minute. Just a quick housekeeping stuff. We have our Palm Ultimate. That's the $1,300 device. If this is your first time being on this webinar, at the end of the month, we do a draw for this device. It has the Palm Ultimate is the $1,300 device. It has the two wavelengths of the 660 nanometer wavelength, which is very, very powerful, which can treat different parts of the body. And as you can see, the light is going right through my hand there. That's how much power it has. But when we switch it to the near infrared wavelength, and this happens to be the ultimate, so it's 810 nanometer. The 810 nanometer, if I measure how much is coming through, there's anywhere from 10 to 30 times more light energy is coming out through my hand. So that can allow us to go even deeper. So the two methods are, let me just bring this back here, make sure that we get a little closer on that with the microphone. Thank you. So anyways, we can treat very deep into the body with this kind of device, or we have the other device, which is the Palm Super Palm, which is what we think is our best device, where it has the 660 nanometer wavelength, exactly like the Ultimate, but it has the 1050 nanometer wavelength, which you can see here, these purplish dots. I can't see it. It's totally invisible. But anyways, at the end of the month, at once a month, we do a draw, and a randomized draw, and somebody who's watched us either tonight or throughout the month, every time you join us, you get a ballot put in. So if you watch us 4 times during the month, you get 4 ballots put in, and then we do the random draw. So somebody will win that, and I'm really hopeful for the right person to win that. That's always fun when we get a call coming in and they're so excited about the fact that they won the device, and then they tell you a little more of their history about how they've had certain type of pain and they really wanted to get it, but they're down and out and they just haven't had the financial resources to get one, and it ends up in their hand. And so many others. We got seniors of all kinds coming through, and it's just beautiful to help other people that way. But anyways, we're going to get started now. I'm going to ask Dr. Jones to come on and explain a little bit more about what he does. So, Dr. Jones, hey, thank you for being on tonight. This is great.
Great
This
to
is
see you.
great.
Great to see you. I was using it myself when you were explaining it. I'm like, I might as well use it.
Yeah, the evidence is right up there on in the corner of his field. There you go. Look at that.
Yeah.
There's the helmet. And I've got mine over here too. So we'll be talking about that. But you've been able to, so this has got the red wavelength, the 660 nanometer, and then we have the 810 nanometer. Or if a person wants to, they can get the helmet with the 660 and the 1050 as our best offering. But so you've got yours, and so first of all, tell us a little more about yourself. So I was so pleased to be at that last event. That was absolutely fantastic
Thank
to
you.
be at
Thank
that
you.
event and connect with so many people.
I appreciate it. Well, it's an honor to be able to serve all the amazing doctors that are looking to heal and transform healthcare away from the disease care model into the true healthcare model, what it should be, the human potential, you know, get to the root cause of things and get people healed and well. So yeah, it was great to have you as well. And there was just so many people that enjoyed it. And I know that you had the shark himself, whose name is, let's see,
Damien.
Amy and John, who came by and he was impressed with your technology. Um, and all the doctors and people that utilized it. But yeah, so just a little bit about myself. I actually grew up in Canada, just outside of Toronto in a city called Peterborough, and always dreamt big. I wanted to do something big. I grew up in a relatively poor family. My dad was a janitor. My mom was a stay-at-home mom. They had 7 kids. I was the second to youngest kid. And so I was like, I gotta fly the coop and do something big, and wanted to become a doctor. And I became a doctor because I struggled with ADHD and dyslexia as a kid, and even a little bit of,
Dyslexia too. Okay. All right.
yeah, yeah,
Welcome to the club.
yeah. Welcome to the
A
club.
little,
Yeah.
I wasn't, I don't think I was ever formally, figured out that way, but I had the ADHD and definitely they would have probably, if they knew that there was Ritalin back then, they would probably had me on an extra high dose because, the one of the things that would appear in my report card was they used to call me Tommy. I don't go by that anymore. Tom is the way to go. But they used to say, Tommy is not paying attention in class. That was because I was trying to figure out how that thing out there was working, what it was doing. I had no
That is so
in
funny.
another world. But continue. Yeah, so that's pretty wild. Go ahead, go for it.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, I went to down the traditional medical route, and um, unfortunately, it created more symptoms being on medications. Um, but it also was a blessing in disguise, because when I was at my lowest point and I was on a few different medications on top of being on Accutane, I got kind of like in a place of despair, I guess you could say. I would probably never commit suicide, but I was definitely like thinking bad thoughts, um and just and my mom saw it and she was like, "Man, this is not Isaac." So she's like, "We need to find another doctor. We need to find another route." And she brought me to more of a holistic, vitalistic physician that understood root cause medicine. I found out my gut was out of whack, my nervous system was out of whack, and
Was this in Peterborough then?
this was in Peterborough. Yeah, Dr.
Okay.
Ed Gendrich, if you know, and there was this functional medicine physician, Sharon something. I call her Dr. Sharon, but yeah, but between the two of them, they like completely revolutionized my health, and it was sweet because my parents didn't have the money to pay for it. They scholarship my family in, or me.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And so I ended up having my like a 180 in my life, because I got to a place where my teachers were like, you need to figure out what's happening to you, because I couldn't finish my tests. And so I ended up getting diagnosed with dyslexia and ADHD, and then I was put in special needs to take tests. So I was in special needs for a while, and this whole model got me out of it. It got me into a place where I wasn't just scraping by like with C's and D's like I was before, but I was getting straight A's, to the point where I ended up getting an academic scholarship to study in the United States. And I expedited my curriculum. My dean let me double up on classes. And so I ended up graduating when I was like 24 years old. So I was super young to be a doctor. And it was kind of crazy because, I still was doing my residency at the time, but the doctors or the patients would ask when my dad was coming in. Like they thought it was like a kid. I was a kid, I looked so young. So bottom line is, I've just been I've been committed to really helping heal the world, because as a young doctor, I started seeing things that was very different than probably what other doctors saw, where because of my background and the ability that I access to heal the body differently than the traditional model, and just upgrade my brain function, get straight A's in class, get on the dean's list. Then when I was in getting my doctorate, I got in the national dean's list. And it was crazy because I remember thinking when I got this book, it's this big book that each dean picks one kid from the school to be in the book. I was like, wow, I was in special needs, struggling, and like I felt like I had no hope. And now I'm like, on the national dean's list. And it just instilled in me the potential of each human being. Everybody has the ability to heal the body. Everyone has a potential in them that can be accessed, and it's the possibilities for elevation of the physiology and the performance of a child, of a teenager, of an adult, of a senior citizen. It's just it's amazing. And I got so passionate about it that when I was in practice, I built one of the largest integrative practices in the world: medical doctors, chiropractors, naturopaths. And we saw in that clinic thousands and thousands of patients, just a little over 2,000 patients every single week. And it was crazy. A little bit too crazy because I got burned out after a few years, but I ended up selling the practice, and I did the complete opposite model where I was like, oh my gosh, like I was so burned out at high volume and, you know, working with insurance and all this other stuff, and sure did cash pay as well. But I was like, I just want to do cash pay. I want to control care. I want to slow down. I want to charge a little bit more for my care and do what my doctors did. I'll scholarship the people that, that I don't believe in scholarship. I believe in getting them to pay something, even if it's $100 a month or something, because it brings them to the process of transformation more. 'Cause I think that's what my mom and dad did. They had to pay a little bit, but I ended up building this practice that was 100% virtual. So I went from brick and mortar to 100% virtual practice, and I was working with people from all over the world. I was getting referrals, people all over the world, and quickly became a seven-figure practice. And the results were my marketing was my results. And I'm a geek a little bit. Like when in school, because I'm from Canada, maybe I was like, I can't screw this up. I can't go out and drink. I can't go party. I can't be dating any girls or anything. Like I was just like all in on education. But because of that, I think I definitely developed a certain level of understanding of how all these different, functional neurology and functional medicine and environmental medicine and human potential genomics and all of these things kind of interconnect and interrelate. And that brought me to becoming one of the top, call it like biohackers at the time in the world. And I launched a brand called Superhuman Entrepreneur and a podcast, and that became one of the top podcasts in America. Was number one for a while, and then I got, I think I became a little ADHD again, and I, I stopped. I should never have stopped that podcast, but I stopped it. Um, and then, from there, my friends were like, dude, you're traveling the world, you've got this dream life, you're working with people virtually from around the world. Like, how the heck are you doing this? And so I would just help my friends out that I went to school with. So I would explain like what I did. And, Josh Axe, who's draxe.com, he was I came back from the Cognac region of France, and I was like, hey man, we just made like 36,000 in residual income off our e-commerce site. I think it was 2012. And that's when he was like, all right, I got to do what you're doing. And he got into the virtual, space as well. So yeah, I mean, I ended up launching Health Experts Alliance, and now we're working with we've helped over 3,000 doctors create more of a modern day practice, build like systems into their brick and mortar practice to scale, integrate AI now, integrate strategies that will create freedom for them to build their dream calendar, and then reverse engineer their business around their dream calendar, like I did. And it's been a blessing. Yeah,
Oh, that's fantastic.
yeah.
So we ended up connecting first from your team reached out to us, and I don't exactly remember where that happened,
Uh-huh.
but go for
I'm gonna just I might as well if
it.
I'm sitting here, right?
Hey, yeah. Hey, we'll
I'm gonna
both be
do the other
smarter.
one.
Hey, I'll put it on the near infrared. So,
Yeah,
yeah, there we go.
near's on
We'll
right now.
both be smarter now. Anyways, it was one of your team members, I think, that reached out to me, and then we ended up going to the Disrupt conference. That was near Miami, right?
Yeah, that was in Miami. Yeah, it was Hollywood, Florida, just outside of Miami. Yeah.
That's right. That's right. Man, I've been traveling quite a bit this last while. And so I'm trying to remember every place I've been, but it's been pretty wild. So I got the invite and we got a booth there at your event, and we were really, really busy. Oh my gosh, the number of people that came through that tried the technology, it was really good. And I
It's awesome.
appreciated the different ones. I was only able to sneak out a couple times to for a little bit when there was a little bit slower gap, and listen to a little bit of the talks that were going on. I know I still got to catch up on what was there, but it was a great conference, and I know later on you'll post that up there, and we'll put it in the chat for you for the next Disrupt conference. You want to talk about when that is?
Yeah, yeah. It's let me see here. I think I have a little bit of information about it, but I want to pull up this screen and I'll show you real quick if I could get the request and then because
Yeah,
I
you will share it then.
okay,
There we
great,
go.
great. Yeah, so let me share my screen here. All right. So the event, let's see, it's October 9th through 11th. I just don't want to screw this up.
It's
Um,
coming through. It's good.
okay, good. And then Scottsdale, Arizona. We're gonna have a lot of fun. There's a lot of just unbelievable doctors. We're gonna get into the proven process to grow and scale to 7 and 8 figures, or multi 6 figures if that's your goal, and build a modern practice. We're gonna get into AI automated systems to save 10 to 20 hours per week. And we also have a proven marketing and sales system we're going to get into. We're also going to get a lot of some really cool clinical stuff around improving patient outcomes. There's a lot of new exciting things like your technology right here that is extremely powerful. And so you'll definitely want to come and learn about that. You're going to learn about systems and team processes for your practice. And this is just from the last event. I think it was in Miami. No, this one was in Dallas. That was Andrew Huberman and myself, and a lot of people. Helen Messier, who's the chief longevity officer was the chief longevity officer at Fountain Life. Now she's chief medical officer at one of my companies. But a lot of celebrities and top doctors and 7, 8 figure businesses will come out, which is great. But you'll get access to an expo as well, which is great. And so what we're doing for you guys is we're giving 50% off. Oh wow, more than 50% off. I didn't realize this. Sorry about that. I guess we're giving 75% off. So I was told 50%, which I thought was a deal. So the Disrupt business, I guess this is for your tribe. We're giving 75% off of your tickets and 70 more than 75% off, I think, of the platinum ticket. So if you want to hang out with the 7 and 8 figure mastermind that we have called Epic, then you'll want to get this ticket. You'll get a more connection to me. You'll have a private dinner. You'll get access to some secret sessions, and then you get to take home some premium resources for the platinum. So, what is that? $400 extra. But that ticket will go for $4,000, and then we always sell out early on platinum. So, if you're into this kind of stuff, you want to grow your business and be around like-minded people, definitely come. And then this is at the Fairmont Princess in Scottsdale, Arizona. So this is actually all beach. So you feel like you're in the middle of the beach, which is kind of cool. And it's just a beautiful property, one of the best properties in Arizona for this type of an event.
Yeah, and we got the link up now. I guess Josh was able to get the link up. So thanks,
Good.
Josh, for getting that up there. And
Great,
so
great.
anybody looking into it, this is great.
Yeah. Well, thank you. Yeah, and I feel like we attract the top 1% of practitioners. You're going to collaborate, you're going to learn, you're going to celebrate your wins, and it's a very positive environment with, you can see the types of people that have come and spoke in the past. There's just a lot of really smart people, researchers from Wake Forest Institute for Regenerative Medicine, and some scientists, and Dr. Tom Blues that works for the Institute for Functional Medicine, and some good people. But we'll have a lot of fun, and love for you guys to join us.
Excellent, excellent. Thank you for sharing that.
My
And I'll
pleasure.
share something from the last link. I'll see if I can make this work.
Ah,
Do we recognize? I think that was you on stage, not think. I know that was you on
that's
stage.
my hair.
That's your hair. You were wearing our helmet up on stage,
That's right.
and I tell you, a lot of people really had some good questions after that panel that you had. And I tell you, because there was four women, you needed to be on the top of your brain function. So you did the
That's
right
right.
thing for that one. I mean, you didn't need it with the other guys when you had the panel of guys, but four women on there, you were on the top performance for that. So,
Uh,
anyways, I kind of laugh about that one, but there was a lot of people in the room. Why I don't know how many people. There was a lot of people
we
in that room.
Yeah, and we
You
had a lot of amazing, like, we had, I think, 75% of our speakers were rock star women, entrepreneurs, clinicians, like, just really, really awesome. And yeah, there are a lot of really great people. It's all across the board.
right?
Um, but yeah, thank you again, and I'd love for you guys to come out. I'd love to have you guys.
Oh, that's our plans. So we're in now. Tell us a little more about what you found out with the light, with the helmet. And
So
I see
yeah.
right now you got a reddish glow. So what people don't see is the bottom half of the camera. There you go. You got the light on down on your body there somewhere. You
Yeah, I've
know.
got it on my heart. I've got it on my
Oh,
heart.
hey, that'll get the blood flow everywhere.
Yes, yes. So yeah, I've been using this since I've been able to, you know, I think it's now for 3 months. So, I'll just say I do have some scatterbrain tendencies. I'm going a mile a minute. For people that don't know what I'm up to, you guys can see what I'm up to on my social. But I'm building longevity resorts around the world as well, and I'm doing it with the founder of the Ritz-Carlton, um, Horst Schulze. He also founded the #1 ultra luxury hotel in the world called Capella. So, um, I'm on the phone with billionaires. I'm on the phone with property owners. I just literally today got back from Roatan to tour a beach there that I think will be a beautiful place to build. But we've got properties in like Napa Valley and Aspen, just outside of Aspen, and um, Fort Worth, Texas, um, Barcelona, Spain, south of France, Italy. So we're looking at all these different opportunities, and it takes like, because I'm mostly focused on HEA and I've hired a bunch of team members for that business over there,
Right?
I have to be on my game. And so what's happened for me is I've seen a huge shift in my ability to focus with this. The kind of ADHD tendencies have gone down. Even though they've gone down obviously quite a bit since I was a kid. They've gotten calmer, much better. And then also getting much better sleeps at night. It's interesting when you pre and post, if you're wearing the Aura Ring or I like the Venue by Garmin. Um, the Venue watch by Garmin now. It's really a
Hmm.
great biohacking, longevity hacking watch. But I noticed my deep sleep went up by probably, what was it? So normally is around 50 minutes a night, which is challenge. And it jumped to like 1 hour and 30 minutes to 1 hour and 50 minutes. So that's like
Whoa.
substantial increase in my deep sleep scores. Um, my REM increased by roughly 20 minutes per night. And then my um my overall just like productivity, mental clarity has gone up quite a bit as well. So now the other thing, I didn't even tell you this, Tom,
Okay.
but my younger brother, same gene pool. I hung out with him like a little while ago, and I noticed he's got a receding hairline. He's lost hair at the back of his head, and I'm like, I haven't lost any hair, and I'm and so, but I have to be preventative with that. And so this is like one of the best things for hair loss
Yeah.
as
Oh,
well.
yeah.
So I've heard, at least. My
Yes.
my friend who uses this, he's like, my hair grows like a chia pet, and I'm like 60 years old. I'm like, that's great. And all of his brothers are bald, but he uses, this as well. So bottom line is, my son, as a wellness doctor, is a little bit vulnerable to talk about because you don't want to talk about your sons having health challenges. But one of my sons ended up having a tick, and it was just, I think I don't know why, but I I think I got him into gaming too soon. Like even 1 or 2 hours a week was too much for his brain. Um, and so his older brother started to, and there was no problems with his brain, no problems with focus or anything. So I was like, okay, he really wants to play Tetris or whatever. So I let him, and I noticed like he would get these ticks, and the ticks would get worse.
That's
And
like
so
a just an involuntary movement, like, right?
yeah,
Something
yeah,
like,
yeah, exactly. It was an involuntary movement in his head. And so I was like, what is that from? And then I'd be like, he cannot do that around, you know, my doctors or whatever, because it was embarrassing. But then I was like, Isaac, like he's your son, like figure this out. So, he's been using this, and the chiropractic neurologist that he's been going to, they did a retest. And after the retest, this happened last week, so this is fresh. He got a report where he had zero ticks, zero neurological aberrancies, zero issues, and his score came back at 100% when they tested his nervous system, 100%. And they're like, this never happened. So it was just really cool. So my brain's optimized. My son's brain is optimized. I haven't
yeah.
used it on any of my other kids. I probably should, but yeah, I have 4 kids.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I'll just share this one little thing, and for those in the audience that believe in prayer, there's a 2-year-old that's clinging to life that is using our palm light, and we're really hopeful. This is happens to be in a hospital setting, so we're just hoping for the best for this little girl. So if I won't even get into names, just a little 2-year-old girl. And so if people like to pray for this little girl, God knows the name easy enough, so that's fine. but no, as far as on brain things, I just had today, I went to a wonderful event called um, it was a brain type of brain summit, Brain Changes, that's the name of it. And it was in Toronto a couple of weeks ago, and was able to meet with different ones, and right there in that event, just like we did at your event, is people with migraines. We were able to shut them down in 8 minutes.
Wow.
And we've got a one that like one girl that some of the people know about, that she had 10 to 15 seizures a day. We had the mother on a little while ago, a couple weeks ago. But this daughter of hers, 7 years old, had the 10 to 15 seizures a day. And they had tried everything since 3 years old to improve her situation. And after 24 hours after the first treatment, and the first treatment was a minute and a half under the helmet. So 30 seconds of red, 60 seconds of near infrared. And she dropped to one seizure a day after that point on average. And I
And Tom,
suggest
what's happening there? What's the mechanism of action?
I think again, it comes back to inflammation. Inflammation anywhere on the brain is what's going on, and if we can help that, but it just, hey,
It's my
there's a
daughter
little
right
one.
here.
Hi.
Eliana, I just pulled the tooth out. Right? We got a tooth out at dinner time.
Oh boy, oh boy.
Mwah. Love you.
Beautiful, beautiful. Kids are beautiful. So
Yeah.
this girl, she went to double her treatments so she did twice a day at a minute and a half.
Wow.
And now this is the last 2 months, and she is now down to one seizure every 4 to 5 days.
Wow.
And she has a matter of fact, the real cool thing too is she's been able to pick right up again in her school, and she's right back to the brain abilities of her age group. So she was significantly behind because of all the seizures, and now she's
Wow.
caught right up. And this is all since February. So, these kinds of things can happen, and we treated so many seizures over the last year at different events, like
Oh,
your
wow.
event. And when you can turn it off right there and then, that's neat. But today,
Yeah.
I went to this brain to the people that put the brain changes summit on, and to their group that supported it, and we were able to see right there a headache decrease right there on the spot that was really bugging her, and she's had headaches after headaches. So here she is, and then she says after she got rid of the headache, I says, well, she said my back of my neck is also another problem. It's really stressful. So we turned the helmet like this, so turned it sideways like
Oh,
this,
wow.
and then just put that across her back of her neck,
Oh, nice.
and she treated that. So yeah, you can just turn it. I didn't guess you didn't know that you can turn it at that pivot joint, the whole thing.
Oh my
There you go.
gosh. Oh
So
my gosh.
you could even turn it then 90 degrees to do a facial to get rid of all those wrinkles on your face. Come on now. But no, it'll help with collagen and that. But the big thing that
Wow.
she was dealing with some sinus issues. So even to improve the sinuses, you can see that happening. I know when I've done it and others have done it, that they notice they can just feel the draining occurring in the sinuses. So they're putting it that way. Never mind, you can put this again on any part, because you can put it that way. You can put it every which way. You can treat other parts of your body, your knees,
Wow.
your ankles, whatever. Just raise and lower it to the height that you want to go.
Wow.
But that's one thing that we've been able to see, that a lot of people have been but we went through her, she did her thing, and there was another fellow that's one of the business colleagues, and he had knee pain because of bone on bone, and he treated his one knee, and he says the pain is gone. And then she went and got somebody else, and next thing you know, somebody else comes back with knee pain. This person was a little more reluctant to try the helmet, but she treated one knee, and then the pain went away on that one. She put
Do you use it with the red light and the
Yeah, all the
yeah.
time. I always feel that it's important to treat with the red light first, and then because you're going to increase it's highly absorbed, the red 660 nanometers, highly absorbed by the blood. So you're going to cause a lot more vasodilation and other things that are going on. Plus, the blood obviously is systemic, so it's going through the whole body. So you're benefiting no matter where you're putting it, it's going to be systemic, not only deeper in that area, but probably, so even if the wavelengths don't reach that deep to the actual injured area or the necessary muscle, then you come along with the near infrared and give it the shot with the near infrared. So we've always done the red and the near infrared in combination. With the helmet, it's usually 1 minute and 3 minutes. But when we're talking migraines, I've seen, we learned early on that migraine, it's a tough one. So we do 2 rounds of 4 minutes, and we get rid of the migraine that way. And so we've seen major improvement. One of the other at this event where I went and met these people, then she went out, brought somebody else with knee pain. She treated her knee. The pain went away from her knee, but then the other one came back in and said, the knee I didn't treat is now the one that I'm noticing the pain in. So she was treating that knee. So we were treating knees, we were treating different things, but concussions, strokes, Parkinson's, Alzheimer's. We got an Alzheimer's study started in Dallas, Texas, for using our helmet. We got the IRB approval, and we're hoping soon we'll get a migraine study going on in come on now in Pittsburgh. So and this is going to be amongst the population or the number of people that come through this one clinic for migraines is 1,000 people a day.
Wow.
Sorry, 1,000 people. I said a day, 1,000 people a month. Sorry, that would have been a really busy clinic. That's a crazy clinic. No, but 1,000 is still a lot of people to have coming through every month.
Yeah.
With so yeah, we always use the two wavelengths. So we use the 660 first, just that we use it for twice the amount of time, and the near infrared for that. Have you been able to see anybody else? Like, I know you haven't had the helmet long or the palm, but did you have
Yeah.
anybody else amongst your team members or not yet?
Well, I mean the and this is more anecdotal from the event, but there was some people that were saying that it's really helped with like anxiety, depression, like mental challenges.
Yeah,
Is that accurate?
yeah, that is absolutely accurate. Anxiety. We did a study at Shepherd's University in West Virginia for opiate addiction and depression. So what happens there is these people on opiates, on drug use, they were already incarcerated. They had the ability to be a part of this study, and they weren't forced to or anything like that. And there was a group of 50 people, and we just posted that on our chat there, the study. But there was 50 people that were in the study. 25 got the light treatment, 25 didn't. The 25 that did, they had a significant reduction in depression and anxiety, and they had an improvement in overall outlook on life,
Wow.
decrease in desire to get into drugs.
Wow.
And so there was a number of those factors. But I remember my first case of depression and anxiety was one of the fellows that I have all of this on our webinar on YouTube. You can search back, but one of the guys, he was in a chemical explosion in Germany as a war vet, and he had come back from discharge from that explosion. And when your brain is messed up, people do more mess up things. It's
Yeah.
like, it's like, if we messed up our brains so far, let's do some more. Well, you went into MMA fighting after that and really got knocked around. He
Oh,
said
that's not good.
no. And so he had severe depression, severe anxiety. He said he didn't want to leave the house.
Wow.
He just, there was
Wow.
a bunch of other factors. Anyways, he coupled the use of my helmet with methylene blue.
Oh, wow.
And when I talked to him later on, he had just started the methylene blue working with the helmet. And about 2 months or 3 months later, um, okay, 2 or 3 months later, um, he was able to like get off all medication in 3 months. And he says, my anxiety is gone, the depression is gone.
Yeah.
I've got I can go out there now and not feel like I'm
Wow.
alive again. He says, like,
Wow.
so to get off all medication. Now, when I say that, if anybody's on medication, please um do not
Just go
do
cold turkey.
yeah, don't do that. Uh, connect with doctors in the know on that, how to slowly wean yourself off
Hey,
of.
Tom, my team just let me know that I forgot to show the gift that we're giving away to you guys tonight. So maybe I show that, but
Oh,
yeah, we're gonna give a gift away to you guys with in conjunction with the ticket. So I'll show that in a second, but I just want to say that story, you know, it touches my heart because my mom struggled with depression for years, and it was Glenn Mullen from Harvard University, this medical doctor that wrote the book Prozac Backlash and Antidepressant Solution, that took months and months and months and months and months for my mom to wean down while she started exercising and eating healthy and all the other things. And so, um, the interesting thing was, and I would say this is kind of an accelerant. Like, you look for things that would accelerate results. Like, what can you use if somebody's
combination therapy.
combination therapy? Yeah, exactly. It's like there's so many great little tools out there that are good, but like if you then stack it with this, this is where the results are. And I think from a clinical perspective, if you really want to know the best marketing, it's results. So
Yeah, yeah.
if you can get results with people, and you're gonna be golden.
Yeah, this is what we're finding is that there was the first wave of getting people to buy the Palm, like people buying the Palm lights because they believe that it could be helpful for them. But
Yes.
now what's happening is these people are not only buying it for their sons and daughters, but they're also they're telling others, and so and so it helped them get rid of this pain, and now I want to use it, but they won't loan it to me anymore, so that I have to buy my own.
Yeah.
The funny part is the number of parents that have bought a light for themselves, and they're coming back to buy another one because they loaned their light out to their son or daughter, and next thing you know, they weren't getting it back,
Shouldn't
and they
be
felt
shouldn't
that.
be shouldn't be sharing like that,
Yeah, no, I say share. Yeah, I know. You and I are on the same page. Share it out there. Help
Oh,
as many people as we can, right?
100%. So here's the page I just showed, but I'll just show you guys this real quick. So this is again the October 9th through 11th. Love for you to be there. Even if you don't feel like you're part of the 1% of the top business owners in America, I always say that if you feel like if you're the smartest person in the room, you're in the wrong room. You want to find rooms where you're not the smartest person in the room, from an entrepreneurial business perspective, or health perspective. And so, again, we're going to get into longevity models that will essentially give you a shortcut to understanding longevity medicine. The goal is to help to 10x your patient outcomes, like what we're talking about tonight, and then build your own thriving 7, 8, even 9-figure longevity business. We've had probably 8 businesses grow over 9 figures from doctors that were under 6 figures and struggling financially initially. So it's been really cool to see that. And so here's again what we're doing. 75% off. Sorry about that. Not 50% off. 3-day event access, 20 speaker sessions and workshops, 400 plus attendees. And again, we will sell out just like we did in Miami. Cutting edge longevity experiences. So we call that the longevity lab. You're going to be seeing a lot of amazing cutting edge breakthrough technologies, incredible masterminding. So this is for you guys only, and this is the bonus I forgot to talk about. So this is the longevity division playbook. So how do we add profitable longevity division to your practice without losing patients, hiring new staff, or burning yourself out? So this it says check your email inbox after securing your disrupt ticket. Okay, so you'll have got your ticket, and then this book that I wrote, I think you'll really like it because I've built a multi 7 and then 8-figure business. These longevity centers I'm building right now will most likely all be 9-figure businesses, each one of them. And then the other thing that's interesting is I integrated all this into brick and mortar, and we've coached and trained the top uh, practices in America on how to do that. So that's our gift to you tonight. Again, this is a gift because Tom's been so great to us, but we just wanted to gift his community, your tribe, Tom, with this awesome bonus.
Well, thank you. Thank you for doing that. Really appreciate it. There's
Of
so much
course.
to learn in this whole space. And even if you walked away with one extra modality to connect to your practice, you know, it's again, you learn this, you add it, you learn this, you add it, and you
Yeah.
find out that patients are getting better in that. Yeah,
Yes.
so
Have you
um,
found, Tom, real quick, have you found any men with like erectile dysfunction or low testosterone if you use that down there? Is there
yeah, as a matter of fact, that's a real smiler for me because my chiropractor, he said to me, Tom, he says, I think I looked at your website. I think you're missing the biggest part of business that you could have. And I says, what's that? He says, well, he didn't get into detail. He just said I tried it on myself, and then he says I also loaned it after a month. I loaned it to one of my friends. And he says, "My gosh, things really got strong." So some of the men in the audience will know what we're talking about here. But yeah, there's a tremendous benefit to helping with blood flow and without using a prescription,
yeah.
which is even better yet. So it's very possible, but he says you're missing the biggest part of your business because it worked for me and it even worked for my friend. So that's kind of funny. That's interesting that you'd mentioned that.
That's
So I
funny.
thought right now, the last little bit of time here, if there's some questions.
Questions.
So I'll with Dr. Jones on if there's some that he would answer, I'll answer some of the ones that I know I can answer, and I know there's been a little bit back and forth about people trying different things here as far as link. We sent out a number of links in our chat. Please grab the ones that you find. A question I saw on the upper part of the screen. So there was another part question somewhere up there. Okay, what time do you use? This is from Linda. Thank you, Linda, for your question. What time did you use for bone on bone knee osteoarthritis? I have your super mini panel. So the super mini panel is the one that's a foot square. And I mean, that's really nice. That's basically 15 of these guys here. So 15 times the area, 12 times the power. So it's still very extremely power dense, just like this is. So you can treat the whole area. So when you're using the mini canopy on, I find with the knee stuff that you want to spend about, you probably could speed that up with a mini canopy a bit, but I'm going to suggest that you want to try and do about 5 to 10 minutes of the red and then another 10 to 15 minutes of the near infrared. And you're going to find some great stuff that way for helping your knees. As a matter of fact, today's result was in about there was a little tightness on time, so he did it about 3 4 minutes of the red, and then about I would say 7 9 minutes of near infrared. And he says the pain is gone in my knee. Then got up and he says, if I get up, I always give a little yelp because the pain is there. It's not there. He
Yeah.
walked across
Wow.
the so that's one of the questions. And then there's farther down. Um,
A DM that just came in was how long is this link good for the discount? That's going to be good for um I think it's just for tonight. My team might have it up tomorrow, but that is for tonight. And then Jennifer posted a link. It says Super Palm 1050. I think maybe just answering one of the questions there.
okay. All right. Susan is saying the Mini is my new best friend. I used it on my knees and left it on near infrared for about 15 minutes. I had new knees in the morning.
Karen asked, "Can I treat with for anxiety with my Super Palm?"
Oh, that's the question I missed there. And I would say, yes, although we've used the helmet, obviously the helmet is 10 of these, but it'd be like spending about a half an hour around the head with about a third of the time with the red and about, around the whole skull like that, just so we can cover the whole area. And I'm not sure, Dr. Jones, if you know where the center would be that would be more anxiety prone that your person could treat. Sometimes if you're able to narrow it down, you may be able to find out, well, I know one of the doctors, he's a pathologist, and he said when before he goes out on speaking circuits, he treats the left side of his brain back where the speaking is involved.
Oh, interesting.
And he says, I'm so much clearer with my thoughts. So I think it was the left side. So, and I don't know. Can you tell me?
Well, I mean, anxiety is
No,
essentially
I didn't mean anxiety. Come on. For speaking, he used it on the left, but I'm wondering
okay.
if there's something similar to that with anxiety. Would it be the frontal cortex area? What do you think might be? Or is it a case of trying it over the
Well,
whole brain and trying to figure that out?
obviously the amygdala is like the threat detector, right? That's the area that you'd maybe want to hit, which is like a little bit lower in your kind of brain stem area, like right if
In the
you
back of the neck in this area here?
yeah, like right there. But then, anxiety isn't just a single area. It's produced by a network of regions that are like constantly going back and forth. That's one of the challenges. And so I would be putting in frontal cortex. I'd be hitting the amygdala. Um, and if you can hit underneath your neck as well, that would the infrared, the how
Near
far would
infrared.
the rays penetrate?
Oh, the near infrared goes like we're treating right down to the hip. So like hip joint. So,
No, but I mean, if you how far up, if you put it underneath your neck, how far up
oh,
in?
it's going like I have a picture somewhere on my palm unit here, on my palm, my cell phone, and I'm showing how I'm shooting the light on my palate of my mouth and it's coming out my eye sockets. Okay, so
Wow.
you can actually see the light on my optic nerve coming out. It's really a funny picture. I don't know if I can find it
Wow.
that quickly, but it really is quite funny. People have looked at that, but the near infrared travels much deeper. So that's where I say, hey, there's no problem in penetration. Another thing that got me really thinking more recently is the uh, when it comes to light, our when we look at a faraway star, we can see that star. It's only so few photons that are coming from that star to hit the back of our eye. It's making a chemical change, converting it into electrical signal is going into our brain. So even a small amount of light can go very deep. It can still have an effect very deep.
Wow.
So you can do that. Or the other thing that I'm not sure if you heard this one, but the myelin and sheath of the nerves actually act as light conductors. That light can actually travel along the myelin sheath, so it'll go much further than what's normal because it's going along like it's actually like a fiber optic that's going on. So
It's amazing.
there's another question that just popped up here.
Thanks, Deborah.
Okay. I just bought my Palm Ultimate and waiting for it to be shipped. Great. Thank you for the order. I have arthritis on my knees, palms, foot, toe. Please let me know how I should use the palm. So would I treat both sides of the palm? Well, okay. So my just general rule of thumb, for things that are much thinner, you can do like 1 minute or even 30 seconds, like your fingers and your palm. 30 seconds, maybe once you get into the palm. On each wavelength and both sides. When you start getting to thicker joints, you're going to have to spend more time on those joints because you're trying to allow that, um, to pen to have more energy deeper because there's so much loss there. And then when it comes to different other parts of the body, you even have to spend more time. So that's kind of a rule. We got some. You'll get a little cheat sheet that comes in your unit that'll give you some guidelines. And Jennifer just posted a link to the quick start guide that you can look at as well. But you'll get
Tom,
one
is
with your.
is is more better? Like if you could spend, let's say, for your knees and legs, it says on the cheat sheet, it says 3 minutes on red, and then near it says 7 minutes.
That's the starting point. I have not on musculoskeletal issues. Anything below the neck and down
Uh-huh.
is like longer treatments. I've had no issues whatsoever. If you're
Yeah.
just dealing with a skin condition, very shallow skin condition, you don't need long. But when it comes to treating deeper issues, it's amazing that if you got the time, spend more time on it. Exactly what you're saying. Thank you for commenting on that.
Yeah.
That's just kind of we put those time spots in as a good starting point using the light. Um, can can near infrared be used to treat a bone spur on my heel? Well, as a matter of fact, the funniest part is very early. I used to have another light device. It was called the Genesis light, and one of the senior women, she had bone spurs that were they could see them in the X-ray. She had it in a knee and I think one in the ankle, and she was diligent about treating her those two areas. Now, she had a when she came in, she had a walker, and she had a walker, and she also struggled to walk around. And 6 months later, she was walking around without a walker. and
Wow.
she could get off the chair without needing help. And they said in the X-rays the bone spurs had disappeared.
No way.
Yeah,
Wait a minute. How much time
that
did she
was
use?
daily treatments, and she would have been probably doing it an hour a day over the different parts of her body.
Was she doing chiropractic care with that as well, or?
Oh, I you know what? I can't answer that. I'm not sure, but she had these bone spurs before, like so they were there for a while.
Wow, that's really
And
cool.
so Chuck is asking, Isaac didn't, Dr. Jones didn't finish
Oh, yeah,
his thought about treating on the front of the neck with the NIR. Can he say what he was thinking about that? Sorry, I probably cut you off. I have a
okay.
tendency to do that once in a
That's
while.
okay. No worries. Yeah, so as far as anxiety is concerned, you've got like the amygdala, which is kind of like, your midbrain, just above it. You kind of want to hit that. I would do the base of your brain stem, would be a really good place to kind of create some, calm and blood flow into that area. And then your frontal cortex, I would say. So I would be doing both the near as well as the red light. And then um, those are the two. And then obviously the best treatment would be the helmet, right, Tom?
Yeah.
Because you get
Yeah,
you
that you
got
can't miss.
yeah, you can't
It's
miss.
it's got total coverage. So
Yeah.
yeah. Susan mentions that her plantar fasciitis healed in 3 treatments with mini canopy. I do know another person who was doing a half marathon, and he wanted to get into the half marathon, and he was extremely worried that he wouldn't be able to do it because he had so much pain in his plantar fasciitis. And about 2 weeks later, he was competing, and he was able to run the marathon in a good pace.
Well,
So, all right. So, well, I want to thank you so much. I think we've come to the end of the questions tonight. Thank you so much for coming on, and I really
thank you.
appreciate everyone. And yeah, I can hardly wait to be able to be out at that event and be able to share some of the new knowledge that we've learned, because it seems like every month we're gaining new knowledge of treatments for this, and so it's uh, pretty neat. And I so much hope for, let me just see something here. So the diapers covering the little eyes, but there's the palm light being used on the, and this is totally hospital approved, which we're really, really excited about. So
Wow.
I am so hopeful that this little girl can get her full brain function back. That would be phenomenal.
Amazing.
So
Amazing.
happy 4th of July to everybody coming up. And our next webinar is going to be next Tuesday. We will be having our webinar next Tuesday. Dr. Jones, I thank you so much for
Thank
being
you.
on. And if you can remain a minute on after this, I need to just connect with you on a couple things. So thank you, everyone, for joining us. I wish all of you God's richest blessings. And we'll see you next Tuesday.
Happy Canada Day too. That's
Yeah,
tomorrow, I think.
yeah, you're right. Okay, bye for now.
Bye-bye.